I never went to college after high school. I didn't come from college-educated people, and I didn't really know much about the process of going to college. So I ended up getting married really young, and I had my kids young, and I always thought that I would go back next semester, but life always seems to get in the way. My mom passed away from cancer, and it was really, really difficult. I was her primary caretaker. I was really strong when my mom was there and when I cared for her, but after she passed away, it hit me really hard, and it was hard to bounce back from that. And we ended up losing a house, and we ended up getting divorced, and I still carried the weight of losing my mom, and I kind of went into a downward spiral. I ended up homeless in Ventura.
My learning disability actually comes from being abused. I was born into a household that was very emotionally, physically, and verbally abusive. And it happened for 4 years until the cops came and took me away from them. I have stories and memories and flashbacks of the things that have happened. The horrible things have happened.
My mom was about 18 when she had me. She wasn't in a stable position to be having a kid, so she put me up for adoption. My adoptive mom had a lot of psychological problems, and she drank often, and I didn't know what alcohol was, but I knew that when she drank out of a certain bottle, my dad called it the monster that would come out. When I turned 5, she ended up taking her life. When I was about 6, that's when the physical abuse started happening.
I had nothing. It was incomprehensible demoralization. And I walked into Ventura County Medical Center one day, and the doctor took care of my physical needs, but what I really needed was mostly emotional at that point. And I just remember the kindness of a nurse. The doctor had pretty much told me that I could be discharged, but I didn't have anywhere to go, and I was tired and I was hungry. And that nurse, she kind of hid me in the back and let me sleep for a little while because it was early in the morning, until she could find a social worker. And she gave me a sandwich, and she told me just to hold on. She would try to find me some help, and she did, and I never forgot her.
A lot of my memory problems are from it too, because I've blocked out so much of what happened that I can't usually take in everything I receive, and then everybody expects me to remember something, and it goes into a complete blank.
And the abuse started just getting too intense for me to even handle, and I didn't know what to do anymore.
And you never know if what you say to somebody is going to change that person. That person said a few sentences to me that day, and it literally changed my entire perspective, and it really changed my life.
It all ended when the cops broke down the door and took me away from the living situation I was in and gave me to my new family. The first place they brought me to was Ventura.
She did get arrested. This episode in my life, it lasted for about 10 years. From the time I was almost 6 until I was 15. And that was the first time I went into the foster care system, when I was 15.
School was hard having a learning disability, because everybody else understood it. All the neurofeedback and all the testing and medicines and whatever else I had to go through has helped a lot, and also showed me that I'm capable of doing something with some help on the side of it.
The whole point of the foster system, apparently, is to reunify the child with their family, which I don't know why, because that never works. They put me back in my home, and so I ended up leaving.
So everybody needs to know that they're important and that they mean something to somebody, not just loved, but that they're necessary. So I remember calling the Ventura College office and explaining to them, I want to get into your nursing program. And they said, oh great, come to our workshop. And I was like, but I don't think you understand. I've never gone to college before.
I really wanted to go to college. And so I I got on a Greyhound bus, and it was 6 a.m. and I got on a 12-hour bus ride because I had to take the cheapest ticket.
Overall, I graduated with a really high grade point average and had gotten grades that I've never gotten before in my life and was pretty thrilled about it.
I did. I went to the nursing workshop and I felt really inspired. Felt like it was really tangible, something that I could actually do. I was working full time and I took 12 to 13 units at a time at night, and I just worked.
They were giving out awards during the graduation that teachers voted on. They announced my name for the principal award, and I had no clue. And plus, my whole family was in tears. Really shocking and overwhelming, but great.
Like, I was adopted. My mom committed suicide. I was abused for 10 years. Like, I was homeless. I went through several types of abuse, but when I got that phone call, it was like everything just kind of it just stopped. Like, everything was just like, it wasn't real life. And that was the first time that I called him my dad.
Going to Ventura College gave me a great education. Going to the nursing school prepared me immensely for my future. My father was diagnosed with cancer last year, and I lost him just this past March. And I had been going back and forth to Valencia, where he was living with my sister, to take care of him several times a week, on top of working part-time and on top of being in school full-time. And I raced over to Valencia to be with him, and he passed away about an hour after I got there. So I would like to think that he waited for me.
I didn't suspect it, but it actually was the biggest, blessing that could have happened. He gave me the family that I wanted and that I needed.
I don't regret anything that happened to me. Everything that I've gone through has made me the person that I am today.
My aunt and uncle are actually adopting me, so my name was Aiden Moore, but I go by Aiden James Chandler.
I am a Ventura College student and pretty great so far, and I wouldn't have been able to get here without the Promise program because my family doesn't really make enough for me to actually afford school.
I finished part of my 10th grade, all of my 11th grade, and then whatever I had to catch up on for my 12th grade year, all those credits. I finished that up there while simultaneously taking classes. I took 12 units, I think, at Ventura College. And later on, I became the vice president of the psychology club there. Just kind of started thriving, and I started seeing my potential.
That's the reason a lot of people don't go to school, is because they can't afford it, or they can't afford not to work and to go to school. And I got many, many scholarships while I came to Ventura College. I was a recipient of the Phoenix Scholarship. I was the recipient of several Ventura College Foundation scholarships. And I can truly and wholeheartedly say, had I not received the help from the foundation, I wouldn't have been able to finish school.
I know so many kids that are going through this process that could use this financial support and that could use the emotional support that Ventura College gave me.
I just think about the generosity of people who give to somebody that they don't even know. And even now when I think about it, it gets me emotional. That there are people that are in this world that just give because they want something good to come for somebody else, somebody that they don't even know.
As a Ventura College student, I am going to apply for every scholarship the college has to offer and transfer, get my degree, and make my family very proud of me.
It's because of all the support that I started gaining through my family and through scholarships. Scholarships really saved my butt for college.
Well, I graduated May 2014 and from the nursing program. I took my boards July 10th, so I am now a registered nurse.
My major is engineering, and I'm really proud to be here.
While I'm working, I've started a bachelor's program so that I can get my BSN.
And I love working with kids, and I have a crazy passion for the foster youth. So I applied to different colleges as a psychology major, and I got into San Diego State.
I want to be an emergency room nurse. That nurse inspired me that day that I went to VCMC, and I want to be able to pay it forward, to give that kindness. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I could not be the person that I am today without it. It has given me endless opportunity.
And if it weren't for you people that don't even know me, I wouldn't be able to go to college. So thank you so much for helping me. It means so much to me. Thank you.